So what is going on right now is troubling, to say the least. 2023 could be one of the best years of your life. It could also be one of the worst years. We are planning on experiencing a massive change in wealth. This wealth transfer, you could be on the benefit side of it. We also could experience a major economic shift. And again, you're going to be on one or two sides. Chances are you're not going to be right in the middle and see no change at all. But the side that you're on is really up to you. Now, today I want to share some very important updates regarding the state of our economy and especially what we should expect moving forward. Now, I want to explain where this is coming from because I get a lot of questions like, what were you reading? How did you come up with that? Like, what is going on in your mind? Well, here's what's happening, and this isn't just going on in my mind. What happened earlier on this week is Home Depot gave us a very bleak outlook on construction and on their business in general. They pretty much said that nothing good will come from construction in 2023. They made it very clear that new home builds are going to slow. Even though prices for materials has come down substantially, they say it's going to slow down. They said that renovations have taken a massive hit, and experts are also stating that construction in general could take a hit similar to that of 2008. Now, if you remember back in 2008, construction pretty much fell off a cliff. Nobody was working. Contractors were selling their tools. Construction companies were selling their company vehicles at rock bottom prices. I know this because I almost bought a few. And the entire industry changed so much that if you wanted a project done, you pretty much had to do it yourself. This leads us to where we are at right now. Just listen to this email that I received. This person says, love the channel, and I thank you for all the updates. Yesterday you mentioned Home Depot not having any employees that could assemble a patio set, and this struck a nerve with me. About 4 months ago, my wife and I started renovating our home in hopes of putting it on the market. 2.5 months ago, we got a painter to come out and scrape our home in preparation for a fresh coat of paint. The painter spent 3 days prepping the house just to never return again. I called Lowe's. Lowe's said that the person found another job and is no longer painting houses. 2 months ago, I had picked out some carpet from Lowe's, and they said they would have an installer out within a couple of weeks. The installer finally showed up, worked for 2 days pulling old carpet and laying down new tack strips and padding. Then over the weekend, the installer suddenly quit. Lowe's said they would try and find a new installer, but couldn't promise me anything. This is the second time somebody has quit on one of my jobs, and Lowe's tells me that it is because of the times. They say that the construction industry is getting hit hard, and I should look to do the renovations myself. This is where we're at. Okay, remember, I just said that back in 2008, if you wanted a project done, you pretty much had to do it yourself. That's exactly what this person is saying. That Lowe's is telling them that the construction industry is getting hit hard and I should look to do the renovations myself. Doesn't this sound crazy? Or doesn't this sound eerily similar to what we already experienced back in 2008? That was again, if you want to talk about building wealth, if you had money back in 2008, if you had money to go and put into homes as they were dropping, you probably did really well. You probably 10x your money. But here's the truth. The truth is that things like this are happening all the time. Not just in specific locations, they're happening all across the continental United States. Now, to just give you an example, for me personally, I contacted a painter to paint a couple parts of my house because they needed to be repainted for whatever wood cracking, replaced it, had to caulk some of the, anyway, doesn't matter. But contacted a painter because I don't want to get up on a ladder, okay? And so contacted a painter, see if he can come paint it. The guy said he'd be there in the next week, and I waited for him on that day. He said he was going to be there. He didn't show up. Thought, you know what, maybe I just had the day wrong. I waited for the following week to see if he showed up or contacted me at all. Never showed up, never contacted me. So I sent him a text message wondering when he's going to be there. just waiting. Should I wait or should I go find somebody else? And he told me, well, you should probably go find somebody else because he is no longer in the painting business. He got out of it, is selling his tools, and if I actually need car or home insurance, there he could help me. So he left the paint business, which it was his company. He left that, and now he's selling insurance for cars and homes. Now, this isn't an issue for me personally because I could just go find another painter or I could just paint it myself if I really wanted to. But the issue is the construction industry. And this is why you need to hear this. Because the construction industry is feeling so much pressure right now that this is going to be detrimental to workers, to our economy. Currently, and I had to look this up. I don't just know these numbers off the top of my head. Currently, there is about 9.9 million construction workers. We'll just stick with 10 million because it's simple math. Let's say it sees the construction industry sees a 25% decline and has to pretty much lay off 2.5 million workers. So 2.5 million workers lose their job. Do you know how many currently there's unemployment people currently in the United States? There's 5.7 million people currently without a job. Now, that means we have an unemployment rate of 3.4%. So if we factor that in, 25%, so 2.5 million people on top of the 5.7, okay, that gets us to 8.2 million people. 8.2 million people on unemployment or just unemployed means we'd have an unemployment rate of 5.3%. Now, we haven't seen this since I think it was like June or July of 2015. Granted, yes, because of the pandemic, we saw unemployment shoot up and come back down. But outside of that event, the unemployment rate has not been 5.3% since sometime in 2015. So about 8 years. This is a problem. This is a massive problem. This is why you need to hear this. Because when construction gets hit hard, all these construction workers, there's framers, there's electricians, HVAC, okay? There's landscapers, okay? Roofers, people that do siding, glazers that do windows, okay? You got tile installers, carpet installers, painters. You got all these people in the construction industry. Guess what happens when those people cannot bring in an income, cannot make money to make their ends meet, cannot pay their rent or their mortgage, cannot pay for their car payment? Let's say they cannot go and buy food. So you got 2.5 million people that can't go and buy food like they normally do. You know what that does? It hurts the grocery stores. The grocery stores then have to lay off employees. And when the grocery stores have to lay off some of their employees because the contractors lost their job, and that is just a domino that keeps on falling, guess what? Guess what happens to the grocery stores? They don't need to buy as many products. They don't need to stay open as much. So then even the employees that they keep on, they're not working as much. So now they're hurting. They might have to go get a second job. Or they can't go and pay their rent, their mortgage, their auto loans. It's a domino effect. This is the problem. Right now, what we're waiting on is for that big domino to fall. Could it be the construction industry? Yes. Could it be the banking collapses? Yes. Could it be the debt ceiling? Yes. It's quite possible. All these things are quite possible. But this is why some people are sitting here just waiting. And they're telling you, hey, this is coming. Be ready. And I've said this for a while. We are going to see a big economic shift. It's just why? What is the reason for it? Now, here's one thing I can tell you. It doesn't matter what the reason is, as long as you have some money sitting on the sideline so that when that big domino does fall, you can go and buy cars that are very inexpensive. You can go and buy homes that are very inexpensive. And you can wait till they actually, go up in value. Sell it. Make a little bit of a profit. You can do that with cars and homes and RVs and businesses. You can do that with so many different things. So, I just want to pretty much put this message out there because, again, right now these are major warning signs that we're seeing. And I wanted you to hear this from me, that right now is not the time to be going out there and blowing all your money, because something big is happening. We just don't know what, and we don't know when it's actually going to happen. So if you have any questions, you can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.